Welcome to the Breaking News Network Nigeria. Cool down and listen and watch this irresistible news from the financial institution. Federal government insists on February 10. Ask Apex Court to dismiss state suit. Uncertainties trailing the Central Bank of Nigeria CBN's Naira redesign policy continued yesterday when the Supreme Court overruled an earlier injunction granted by a high court in the Federal Capital Territory restraining the federal government and the Central Bank of Nigeria from undermining the February 10 deadline for the ongoing currency swap. While the Supreme Court ruling appeared to have doused the tension scarcity of cash had induced in the polity, the federal government last night approached the Supreme Court asking it to dismiss a suit challenging the February 10 deadline set by CBN to end the legal tension status of the old currency notes of 200, 500, and 1000 naira. It argued that the Supreme Court lacks jurisdiction to hear the suit, which was filed by three states, Kaduna, Kogi, and Zamfara, all in the northern part of the country, and controlled by the ruling All Progressives Congress APC. The respondent maintained that the case is not a dispute between the Federation and the state governments, but merely an issue about CBN's policy. It said the suit is, therefore, not qualified to be taken directly to the Supreme Court for adjudication, arguing that the suit ought to have commenced at the Federal High Court. Attorney General of the Federation AGF and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami San sued as the sole defendant as the representative of the federal government files his opposition to the suit as a preliminary objection against it at the Supreme Court on Wednesday night. The three state governments in their application filed to challenge the Naira redesign policy prayed for an order restraining CBN from ending the use of the old notes on February 10. They cited the sufferings scarcity of the new notes had brought upon many Nigerians. After listening to the applicant's lawyer yesterday, a seven-member panel of the court led by John Okoro issued an order of interim injunction halting the plan by CBN to end the use of the old banknotes as scheduled. The court then adjourned the hearing of the main case until February 15th. Shortly after, President Muhammadu Buhari met with the CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele and AGF Malami at the Presidential Villa Abuja. Outcome of the meeting was yet to be known as at press time. Apart from the AGF asking the Apex Court to dismiss the governor's suit, this is as International Monetary Fund (IMF) yesterday called for the extension of the February 10 deadline for cash swap. The IMF, in a statement by its resident representative to Nigeria, Ari Aisin, issued on his behalf by office manager for resident representation for Nigeria, Laraba Bonnet in Abuja, hinged its plea on the hardship Nigerians were going through. It said, in light of hardship caused by disruptions to trade and payment due to the shortage of new banknotes available to the public, in spite of measures introduced by CBN to mitigate the challenges in the banknote swap process, IMF encouraged CBN to consider extending the deadline should problems persist in the next few days. Leading up to the February 10 deadline, IMF is the first international financial organization to openly call for the extension of the deadline for the deposit of old naira notes. Governor El Rufai has urged Nigerians to continue spending the old denominations of the redesigned notes. El Rufai said Nigerians should disregard the CBN directives because the APC presidential candidate Asiwaju Bola Tinubu would reverse the decision if elected on February 25th. Speaking in Kaduna, the governor said, continue running your businesses and daily activities with whatever notes, old or new, you have. Erufai continues, don't rush yourself into taking old Naira notes to the bank. Nobody can stop you from using the notes when we come to power. If Tinubu becomes the president, we will give people more time to get rid of the old Naira notes. But more commercial banks have shut their doors to customers, halting cash operations as safety concerns take priority in management decisions. Findings suggest that most bank managers have been strongly advised to avoid putting the lives of their employees at risk until there is reasonable assurance of safety. The security concern and the sheer size of currency taken out of circulation may have reversed any relief expected from yesterday's Supreme Court interim injunction, restraining CBN from enforcing the deadline for phasing out the old notes scheduled for tomorrow. CBN Governor Emefiele in Lagos last week said 2.1 trillion had been mopped up since the beginning of the exercise, plus 500 billion said to be in the banking system. The Apex Bank could have warehoused over 2.6 trillion from 3.23 trillion that was in circulation as at last year, shrinking the total value of the volume of old banknotes in the economy to about 400 billion. The volume of new notes in circulation is yet unknown. The Deputy Governor of the Bank Financial System Stability, Aisha Ahmed, during an appearance at the House of Representatives, said the 500 billion new banknote had been ordered without giving details of how the different bills make up the figure. If the volume is evenly distributed across the three bills, 200, 500, and 1000, it translates to 283.3 billion naira, or 8.8% of the volume of cash in transit. As at October 2022, though the CBN had earlier informed that it would not mass produce the higher denominations 500 and 1000, which it said should not be transactional. Still, this may not accurately capture the depth of cash scarcity Nigerians are currently grappling with. With so much speculation of the hoarding by banks and slow circulation, it is difficult to know the proportion of the money that has been released to the economy. The CBN has also given not given an update on the current production status, whether any more notes have been printed since the deputy appeared before the parliament. Despite the Supreme Court order, the Guardian learned that the cash scarcity may hinder for a while, may linger for a while, cash points whose operations have been scanty in the past week have been completely grounded as insecurity has added to the original challenges. For instance, most automated teller machines (ATMs) in Lagos have been disabled, pushing more people to point of sale POS tellers terminals, most of whom have run out of cash, with bank sources completely locked. Chai. Operators of POS, which some people had labeled the new parallel market, have turned to fuel stations and informal traders where they buy cash at a premium. Please do subscribe to this channel. I appeal to CBN to do something to ease the scarcity and the sufferings of Nigeria. Thank you. God bless you. Peace to the Federal Republic of Nigeria.